Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I figured today we would do a little tour. It's been a while since we have done one. And right now it is so beautiful outside. The trees are just shining with their beautiful golden colors. And I thought I need to just stop and do a video this morning. I've got to show you guys how beautiful fall is in the South. So let's go take a little tour around the garden. Is it perfect? No, don't come on this garden tour expecting perfection because it's not here, okay? There's leaves everywhere. It's fall. The garden is starting to go to sleep. So there's a lot of raggedy plants and things growing wild and nothing. I don't typically clean up for fall. I'll do a little tidying up. Like if there's rose canes in the pathway, I'll cut those back and things like that. But for the most part, I just kind of let nature rest and do its thing. And then we do a big spring cleanup before, or I guess I should say late winter cleanup before spring gets here. We get everything kind of cleaned up and buttoned up, ready for all of the beautiful roses to bloom and things like that. So, but anyway, I just wanted to bring you along and I'm going to show you my little sunroom that I've recently revamped. I've brought all of my geranium plants in that I grew from seed. I did not want to lose those because I don't know if y'all remember in previous videos, but I have tried for years to grow geraniums from seed and have never been successful with it until this past year, which I got it's incredible. I don't know what happened. Maybe I just, my good vibes over it this year made it happen. So, but I was super, thrilled that I was able to do that. And so I've got them all right back here. Of course, they're not in the best condition because once they grew up, we went on vacation in Europe for a month. And then, they just kind of sat in the driveway in their little pots all summer long. So they're not in the best shape, but I'm hoping with them being in here right now that, giving them a little care every day. I've been caring for them every single day, keeping them nice and clean and, not overwatering, but making sure to give them, enough water with food and things like that. But I'm hoping with, a little bit more TLC that they will really start to fill out and bloom beautifully. I do have a few really beautiful blooms that I'll show you now. But anyway, so we're just gonna walk around the garden and check things out and make it a peaceful morning. All right, so this sunroom area pretty much all summer has been a catch-all, quite a bit of a mess. I don't think I have a before picture, but I've changed things around quite a bit in here. There used to be a chair here and no one ever sat in it. It was kind of like a place for the cats to sit. And so we ended up taking that out and putting this plant stand in here because I needed to have a place for all these geraniums. So that really worked out very well to put that in here. And for the most part, I sort of cleaned off these shelves. I definitely cleaned off the top of this. This was an absolute jumbled mess. Now it just looks so much nicer and just pretty. And I tucked my little sleeping fairy in here. I absolutely adore her there. And I've got my little plaques here that I absolutely adore. And all the fairies, my little fairy collection. And yesterday I went to Pikes and I got some African violets, and I actually ran into a YouTube fan of mine, which was so exciting. So that was super fun. If you're watching, hello. It was so nice to meet you. And look at this beautiful bloom. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm a sucker for geraniums. I love them so much. And it really has been fun growing all these. Look at all these little buds forming. So they're much happier in this room. I've got 2 heaters going, and they're set at like 76, 77 degrees. And so it stays pretty warm in here. But they like it. They like it warm. And you know, with winter coming, I'm really trying to keep these plants happy. Isn't that a beautiful light pink geranium? I think this one's called Apple Blossom. But I grew all of these from seed. The seeds were purchased from Swallowtail Gardens. I will link, oops, I think I just broke this little, yeah. Isn't that pretty though? I will link the website in the description of this video so you can check it out. And if you want to grow your own geraniums, you can do that too. Isn't that pretty? It's like a bicolor. And isn't that an interesting, I just love, that's like an interesting petal. It's got like white and pink, just an interesting way that it's blended on the petal there. But yeah, these were highly neglected all summer. But now I'm taking care of them, and they're really starting to do a little bit better. We got a lot more blooms coming up. This one's really leafed out a whole lot. See all these new leaves? So I've had them here for like 2 weeks. And they are already responding beautifully, starting to grow a little bit better. Isn't that pretty? Oops, I'm trying to get it to focus properly. Woo. Here we go, isn't that beautiful? So pretty. But yeah, I've got all my little plaques in here. This one I got while we were in Scotland. We visited Rosslyn Chapel, and I got that from the gift shop. I was like, I have to have that. That's the green man. That's actually in the chapel. It's just a little replica. And then I love all these little different plaques here. I'm trying to remember where I got them. I think it was Amazon. But I love the whole green man concept with my fairies. So I'm really liking how this whole little shelf turned out. And then I've got my amaryllis here that I potted up. These are amaryllis from Color Blends. I will put that website link in the description below as well. And I'll also put up pictures of the varieties that I got so you can check that out. They are growing really fast. I'm excited to see how those look. They're gonna do well there. All right, let's head outside. Gotta keep the door shut to keep that room nice and warm. Look at this beautiful hickory tree. It is just stunning this morning. Lots and lots of leaves everywhere. We are in the process of putting our cushions up for the winter. They were just soaked with rain, and so we have to like put them on their sides so they'll drain completely. And so that's why those look like a big mess right now. But here is Emmett's pumpkin. It's just starting to turn. So it's not completely lost all of its pigment yet, but it's getting there. But here is what I love. Look at how beautifully blue the sky is today. And you just look up and see the contrast of the beautiful blue sky with the golden fall color of the leaves. Oh, it just makes me so happy. Like, there's something about it that just fills my soul with happiness. I just love it so much. Okay, let's go around back. And this is definitely the time of year you could come out here, or I could come out here and blow the leaves off in the morning, and then by the evening or afternoon, it's completely covered again. So we just let it be until it gets too bad and we have to take care of it. Here's the rose garden. La Perla needs a little trim back. This rose grows so vigorously. I've really loved this rose. The blooms do tend to be a bit of a thrip magnet though. So, but I'm hoping this spring I'll actually really be able to enjoy them. We'll see. I may end up spraying them just so I can try and get some decent blooms this year, or this upcoming season in spring. But I planted daylilies in between each rose, and those are doing great. They're growing very vigorously. All of the azaleas we planted are looking fabulous. Doing wonderful. The clematis here, this clematis Yukiokoshi has grown wonderfully this year. I'm excited to see all the blooms on this next year. It's gonna be awesome. Look at this beautiful bloom here. This is Star of the Republic. So there's a bloom here and there that still look beautiful this time in November. All right, let's head back into the woodland garden. Look at the beautiful colors of the trees I have here. The dogwood, beautiful deep purple, wine red, contrasting with this peaches and cream, yellow Japanese maple, and then the beautiful orange of the dancing peacock Japanese maple. Oh, I'm absolutely loving this. So much color. And then we have the hickory trees in the background, and then the beech trees looking beautiful in the background. Oh, I love the color on Dancing Peacock. Let's get in here and I'll show you a closer view. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, and of course there's like vines growing all inside of it right now that I need to cut out. But isn't that beautiful? Look at that color. This is probably my favorite color to see on trees in the fall. So, so beautiful. And then there's a couple more Japanese maples right here that I do not remember the name. This is one from the Ghost series, and I don't remember which, but it does have a beautiful dark plum color this fall. And this one is even more vibrant. Look at that. Beautiful. I am a Japanese maple lover. They are one of my favorite trees, as you can tell, because there's literally, and just in this little circle right here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one back behind there, but I don't know if it's surviving. 6, and then 7, just in this little spot right here. We planted 2 Emperor 1 Japanese maples to flank the moon gate, because I just love the way these trees look. I have another one in the front of our garden, which I'll go up front when we're done back here and show you that. We completed this moon gate, what was it, late February, early March of this past year, and I'm just loving it. It's so beautiful, and I'm so glad that we chose the ferns to put at the base of it. These ferns stay green pretty much all year round, and we cut them back in early spring so the new growth can come up. They are called autumn ferns, and they are one of my favorites. I have a ton of autumn ferns in my garden. I forgot to mention, we are actually ordering moss to go down in the pathway this month, which is super exciting. I can't wait to show you that. Another Japanese maple. This one has not turned yet. This one is called Germain's Gyration. I had to think for a second. I couldn't quite remember what it was. And then back here, there's another little Japanese maple right there. That's a moonrise, and it hasn't quite turned yet. So interesting how they kind of all have their own little time clock. But all the hostas are going to sleep. And here's my red spider Japanese maple. It's got some stuff in it I need to get out of. All the leaves are falling on it. But this one's got a really neat leaf structure to it. And we planted this one last summer. So the summer of 2024. And it's doing okay. It struggled quite a bit the first year. And it's doing okay here. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? There's quite a bit of dead wood I need to cut out. And then right here, we have a bloodgood, which the color is really starting to show up pretty well. My hickory trees, though, are what make me so happy. Like, oh, look at that, just the, here you go, perfect example, the contrast of the hickory leaf up against the blue sky. I love this so much. I could just sit here and stare at the sky forever because I just love the color contrast there. It looks like my garnet Japanese maple is looking like fire right now. You see that? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I planted this tree a couple years ago, I think it was. And this is really, I think this is the first time I've seen it look like this in the fall. How beautiful. And I'm pretty sure this one is called Garnet. I really need to put my labels out. Oh, it's so pretty. This is another favorite color of mine aside from Dancing Peacock. When it looks like it's just glowing fire. Oh, beautiful. And then this one is called Green Cascade. I don't know how I'm remembering all of this. I really need to get my labels out here before I forget. But that's just starting to turn. But yeah, I love collecting Japanese maples and roses and hydrangeas and hostas. Those are the things I kind of gravitate towards. And it would be so nice. It probably won't be anytime soon, but it would be so nice to bump this fence back and continue the woodland garden back in here, because the way this forest area is set up back here, there's tons of mature trees that are very tall that create very large, there's very large pockets of space to put all sorts of Japanese maples back there. And I think they would do very, very well, but we're just in a season of life where the kids are really busy. We're in the middle school and high school phase of parenting, and it is highly demanding taking the kids to all of their sports activities and all those things. But our daughter is going to be driving soon. She turns 15 in February, and she like wants to go get her learner's license the day of her birthday. So pretty soon she will be able to drive herself. They grow up so fast. Oh my goodness. I can't even believe I'm actually saying those words. Our daughter is turning 15 in February. What? Oh. Hug your little ones. They grow up so fast. And I remember what it was like when they were little. It doesn't feel like it was very long ago. I was so exhausted and so tired when they were little. Ooh-wee. But man, it really does go by very fast. This is a Japanese maple that I don't remember the name because I never put a label out for it, but it is a full moon maple. It hasn't quite turned yet. This one does get very pretty, like a pretty orange yellow. And I always tend to miss this one, because it's kind of tucked back in on the right hand side of the garden where I'm not over here as much. But I'm hoping to get a video of the color of this year. And honestly, like, I've got a space back here. I need to put something back in there. There is nothing back there. I could totally put another tree or something because there's such a big space here. the hydrangeas are kind of drying themselves. We really need to come in here and probably just, sometimes I go ahead and cut them back early. Like a lot of people wait till early spring or late winter to do that. But I don't know, I might come back and cut it early. That way I can shape up the boxwoods a little bit more, just so it looks kind of tidied up over winter. We'll see. You know, it just depends on how much energy I have at that one certain point and how motivated I am. But yeah, there's a lot of pruning as far as the roses go over here that needs to take place that I've been putting off for ages. Look at this. There's a few blooms of La Fontaine all pearls. Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Here's La Fontaine all pearls. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, gorgeous rose. And I wish this one was still available for people to get, but it is not. This was a Palatine rose, and they are no longer selling roses this year. Oh, I'm so bummed. Not that I need more, but still, for those who, for those of you who are, you know, new to growing roses and want to create a beautiful rose garden, I always suggested Palatine, and because they just have such good quality roses. And now I can't suggest them to you anymore. I'm so sad. Here's Pompanella. Isn't that a beauty? But the trees are just the most magnificent part of this time of year. All right, let's go up front and I can show you how things are looking up there. Oh, I just saw a little chipmunk go through the fence. All right, I'm here on the front porch. And there's lots of fall color happening up here as well. And we're actually having like a ladybug infestation. I don't know what else to call it. I don't really want to call it an infestation because I love ladybugs, but they are like all over the place. Are any of y'all having this issue? Look, here's one right here. I'm trying to save you, little dude. They are just all over the place. They were actually coming, we accidentally had our windows cracked open and they were coming through my daughter's windows and my closet windows. It was pretty insane, but we got that fixed up. But here's that Japanese maple Emperor one, and you can see the light shining through it up there. It's really beautiful when the sun is shining on it directly. And then we have some more beautiful hickory trees right above me here. And there's another Japanese maple with a rose growing through it. And here we have Luigi. Hey, buddy. Hi, baby. Hey, happy boy. You putting a show on for the camera? You sweet boy. Yeah. Hi. so handsome. Yes, he's so handsome. And over here is my Crimson Queen, which is almost done shedding its leaves. But it's had some pretty color this year. Gotta watch out for the kitties. Watch out, bud. And you know what? I'll come back later in the afternoon when the sun changes positions and show you how beautiful these trees look in the evening when the sun is shining on them. They're literally glowing. It's gorgeous. But yeah, I think we're getting our first frost on Monday. Today is Thursday. And so a lot of these plants are gonna be going bye-bye. This Mystic Spire sage will definitely be going. And I'll be cutting that back after the frost because it's kind of falling into the driveway here a little bit. But I still love it. The bees are still out here enjoying it. Yeah, and it's just, honestly, it's just a beautiful, beautiful time of year. Everything's starting to slow down in the garden. Are you having fun over there? He is just like rolling all over the place. Are you having fun? You gonna go chase some chipmunks? You were so sweet. I do have several Meyer lemons on my lemon tree, which is exciting. Probably time to pick some of those. These look like they could probably be, well, maybe not. It's a little green still on the bottom. May need to wait a little bit longer. But these are still still recovering from spider mites and scale. They've kind of struggled quite a bit this year. But this one's still providing fruit. My lime tree, not so much. This one is got hit pretty hard with scale and spider mites as well. And I just have not been staying on top of spraying them as much as I should be. But now I'm gonna amp up my care of these two trees. And I'll end up storing these in the garage over winter. And our exciting plans for the month of December is we're gonna be cleaning out this garage, getting it repainted, probably polyurethaning the floors, and I think we're probably gonna be getting rid of all these cabinets because they're not attached to the wall very well. If you could see, there's kind of a gap back there, and God knows what has crawled back there and died. I don't even want to know. Oh, but it's just not, God knows what's underneath that. So we're trying to get everything cleaned up in here and organized. And so we were thinking about, you know, taking all of this stuff out, putting that the white panel here over here, and then putting in more shelving and putting like this thing that goes up on the ceiling, because we have such tall ceilings in here. These are like 20-foot ceilings in this garage. So there's so much storage room up there. And if you're here, I'll take you over here so you can see what I'm talking about. See up here, we have these interesting shelves that we can store things in. And so it just helps to keep stuff off the floor, which that's the main thing. Like, I'm so tired of like junk accumulating in areas. So we're doing a major garage makeover. Hopefully before Christmas we can get it done. So that's the biggest, that is the biggest thing on our to-do list right now. And really quick, I wanted to show you my bulb order that I received. I got 100 of Elka, 100 of Golden Echo, and then how many of Snowflake? 100 Snowflake bulbs. These are my absolute favorite. And then I've got some in the fridge as well. Now, since we're in the South, we have to chill our tulip bulbs. And so I have a ton of tulips in my fridge in the garage right now. We've got Big Eartha. I think I've got like 300 of these because they're like my favorite. Yeah. Well, there's 200 there. So we got Big Eartha. No, where did I put the rest? Maybe they're down here. Yeah. I've got I think it's called Van Eyck. And then I have Etouffee, which is hyacinth bulbs. And then I've got Daydream, 25 of those. And these I usually put in pots. There's some more Van Eyck. Or Egypt, however you say it. Yeah, those are Daydream. And so I'm planning to put these in containers. And these right here, the Big Earthas, I'm planning to put those along the front pathway, the front walkway up to the house. Oh, and let me show you this beautiful camellia bush. It's blooming. Isn't that pretty? And I don't know the name of this. This bush was here when we moved in. And there actually used to be two. There were two right next to each other, and one did not make it until I started watering. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to lose this one. And so I started watering it like crazy and fertilizing it. And it responded beautifully to that. And so I'm trying to create, you know, I'd love to have a whole wall of beautiful camellia flowers here. And so a couple of years ago I planted, or at least I think it was a couple of years ago, maybe it was last year, I planted 3 more. So hopefully they'll eventually catch up. And I think they're close to the color of this one. They might be a little bit lighter pink or purple. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Oh, and I forgot to show you this to you guys. I think the last tour I did, I had mentioned my Moonlight Romantica rose had been half eaten by voles up by the front of the mailbox in that rose bed. And I put it in here to recover. And look at how much it's grown. This rose has recovered beautifully. We do have a bit of a pest issue. I haven't been spraying it, but it looks so good. Like, it really has bounced back. So if you haven't grown Moonlight Romantica, I definitely suggest that you pick one up. It's a beautiful rose, very vigorous, gorgeous blooms, and it's in my one of my favorites in my list of roses. So very soon I'll be coming out with that top 10 list of roses for you. All right, that is it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour, and I just encourage you to get outside, enjoy nature, enjoy this beautiful scenery. If you can, get up in the mountains, get outside, go hiking. It's such a beautiful time of year to do that, especially in the mountains. I think that the leaves are probably kind of coming off peak up in the mountains right now, since they are kind of peak down here right now. We're in the foothills. But you know, October, which is over, was a great time to go out, but there's still plenty of beautiful things to see in nature in November, I feel. So I just encourage you guys to get outside and spend time in nature and connect. It's a wonderful way to de-stress. And I probably don't even really need to tell you guys that. Those of you who watch my channel, you find peace in nature too, so you get it. But sometimes it's just the thing of making time for it, right? And I know about that right now because our lives have been crazy busy. But bare root rose season is almost upon us. It's getting very close. I don't think anyone has opened up selling bare roots yet. Maybe Edmund's Roses has. But we're getting close. Usually December is when people start taking orders. And so I'm going to do a video on my top 10 favorite roses to grow, as well as my 5 favorite climbing roses. So look for that video coming up soon. I can't wait to share my favorites with you. These are going to be roses that are really tried and true, hard to kill, and perform like rock stars in the garden. So I really want to give you a list that, have done very, very well for me, to hopefully give you the best success at growing some beautiful roses to bring joy and light and life to your garden and just to your soul. So just keep a lookout for that video, and I will hopefully be posting it within the next week or two. So I hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy this beautiful weather, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.